Hey everyone, Adam here. Really excited to be with you today and talking a little bit more about business intelligence and just kind of planning ahead for the future. So today we're going to be talking about projecting your revenue, talking about planning ahead and strategically investing. We're not going to talk too much on strategic investing. I'll have a video a little bit more in detail, but I do want to touch on that today because it is very, very connected into planning ahead and forecasting. And one of the pieces here for today is projected revenue. So you should be planning 6, 12 months, 24 months ahead so that you're able to project not just your revenue, but also your needed services. So when we talk about projected revenue, we're talking about the next 6 months, 12 months, 24 months. And that's kind of the timeline. You don't necessarily need to project too far ahead of that. Landscape changes too far. And you really want to have that 6 to 12 mark because that's going to be what you really base your year off of, your budget, talking about hiring and firing, potentially letting people go if you have to scale down, necessities, right? So hopefully it's in growth mode. You're growing year over year and you're just really adding to the team. You're building up. One of the things to note about your first couple of years is you're going to have a really, really high, if you're growing, a really high growth rate compared year over year. But that's going to start to go down as your numbers start getting bigger. So you really want to make sure you understand how much revenue you need per year to keep up with the growth. And also if you're going to have to strategically invest that elsewhere. When you're talking about this is what you need to make your decisions on for your day-to-day when you're looking at hiring needs. So if you're growing 6 months out and you're like, wow, we're going to have 3-4 new projects per month coming in, and you see that trend happening, is your current team able to handle 3-4 new projects coming in, or you're going to have to increase the size of your team or outsource it or be able to scale up your partnerships or however you're currently doing those projects, right? So being able to plan that ahead and understand it and compare that to reality, if that trend is happening, you need to start moving sooner than later in that direction to activate that type of relationship or hiring someone new, because it can't happen the next day. It takes months to develop. So you have to plan ahead there. The next thing is you need to continually reevaluate your services and or products, but usually we're talking about services in this line of work. And you need to look at what are your high and what are your low value adding services. When we talk about this is something that is a low value service, would be something that takes a lot of time and you receive very little profit or almost no profit. It's a loss when it comes to the company. Now, if you have a high value activity, meaning you're able to do it efficiently, you have a great profit margin on that, that is going to be something that could be the core of your business, and that should be the core of your business so you can be the most profitable you can be. So as you're looking at your revenue, you need to determine and break down where is your money coming from, what type of services is coming from, and be able to really analyze where the time is going for your business and what are you spending your most of your focus on. It might seem like you're spending most of your time on big projects, but are those big projects as profitable as they seem to be? Or is it really the small projects that you're rocking out behind the scenes that are actually your most profitable projects? And maybe you need to reinforce that a bit more versus the bigger projects, but you don't necessarily need to get rid of them. You just need to know where your focus is and where your profitability is so you can invest strategically in those items and continue to bolster those projects or those teams that are doing it. One of the case studies I'll use here is support work. Support work is notoriously very, very hard for organizations. Not a lot of people get it right. Support can actually set you apart from other companies, the way you treat past clients, the way you're supporting them and helping them, if they're on a support plan or if there's some sort of like freemium model where you like build a project for someone and they get a couple months free of support, however that is. Support can be draining on an organization. It can take a lot of effort and people don't really want to pay for it. So one of the things I'd highly recommend is if it's a crucial key component of your values in what you are as an organization that you're going to support your clients, you have to keep that. And the right way to keep that profitable is hiring the right people. You might spend more money on getting the right person in the door, but at the end of the day, they're going to spend a lot less time and they're going to resolve a lot of issues a lot faster for your clients, and overall it's just going to be a much better relationship. You might not necessarily have that as a core tenet of your organization in terms of profitability. It could be profitable, but you are going to have a lot of other benefits, meaning clients will come back with other projects. You're going to have the referrals. You're going to have people who really stay long-term clients. There's going to be a lot of, let's say, indirect or residual income coming from that you might be able to identify. Now, if that's not in your core competency and you're not able to do it well, and you're not necessarily have as a core tenant, you're never guaranteed that for your clients, it might be better to outsource that to someone else who focuses on that than try to do it yourself. It'll be very inefficient, it'll be ineffective, and you're going to lose a lot of money on that type of work. So taking that as an example, this could apply to a lot of different levels across websites. It could be you're not that great at web design. Maybe you should outsource it or have someone else do it so it's more efficient, and then you just do focus on web design, web development. Maybe it's focusing on web optimization. You're not really great at SEO and optimizing websites and page speed. Find someone who is, or outsource it to them. You don't have to do everything yourself here, is what I'm getting at. And you can do what you're best at and focus on that. So you can do it as well as you can, and you're doing it as efficiently as can and it's profitable, and you're having someone else do the other pieces. Now, if you can hire in those assets, those people with the resources that can do the optimization, that can do the design, do the development, that's the best case scenario. So you can actually make each part of these processes profitable, and you can have them flowing at the right way with less variables. But if you're not at that stage, make sure you're taking account that you don't have to do it all yourself, and focus on what you're most profitable and what you're best at. One of the other things, and the last thing I'll get into, is new services or value adding activities. So one of the biggest things that people forget about is you've been doing the same thing and you're doing well at it. Is there something else you could be doing to adding more value to your clients, to get more business, to keep growing? So don't just put the blinders on and stay focused on a few things. If that's all you're good at, don't forget to once in a while take a step back, see what you're doing. Is there anything else you could be doing that you're good at? And maybe you don't think about it, but you're already doing a service included with another service and you're not even getting paid for it. Think about discovery. Are you getting paid for discovery? Are you getting paid for design UX audits, right? Those are services in and of themselves. Maybe you're doing an excellent job at it and that results in your end product as a design, but you're not getting paid for that and you're adding a ton of value to that design, but you're not necessarily distinguishing between the two. Maybe you should start distinguishing the two, and maybe you can get more people who are willing to do just a UX audit, or maybe more people who are just doing discovery that might not become clients, but they're paying for it. It's profitable, but a lot of them could come back and become clients in themselves and go into UX audit or UX design, development, and so on. So take a step back, look at your processes, look at your services, figure out what's working well, see if there's an opportunity to create that into a new product or service and be able to make that much more money off of it, make sure it's profitable, and continually adding value to your clients. So just to recap here, we're looking at making sure that you're looking at your projected revenue, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, looking ahead, making sure you have the capacity, you have the team, you're investing correctly into hiring if you need it, as you see the trend going upward in the amount of work you're getting, and you need to keep balancing that in your team and you're not overloading them. Additionally, looking at your high and low value activities, meaning your services. Is there something that you could drop or outsource? Is there something that you can reinvest in or strategically focus on a bit more to continually reinforcing it? And then don't forget about looking for opportunities and taking a step back once in a while and seeing if you can continually grow and add new services or explore a new opportunity. And I'm not saying that that's the best option, but you don't want to miss out on something that could potentially help change and add more value to your clients, and then therefore grow your business and theirs overall. So with that being said, thank you very much for your time today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Really look forward to working more with you. If there's any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Really do appreciate the support. And don't forget to grow as you go.